What's going on, Mountaineer fans? Welcome to the Breakdown, where we take a look at App's upcoming opponent each and every week of the season.
Walk slow through the fire, like who gon' try us?
Well, it's time to play for a ring. We keep the record going for being the only two teams to ever officially compete in the SunBelt Championship game. Apps won the last two times, both in 2019 and 2018. In 2018, they took it with a score of 30-19, and in 2019, they took it with a score of 45-38. I expect more of the same in this year's version, and I expect the close scores to also continue. So let's take a look at why that may be.
This team goes as Levi Lewis goes. He was recently named second team All-Conference. He's thrown for almost 2,500 yards and 18 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions so far this season. We'll see, he's obviously that lefty QB. We've already seen him once this year. He's got a pretty good arm on him. He's not the biggest quarterback as far as height goes, but he's able to scramble around enough to be able to see well around his line. And, he's got a good little stiff arm that we'll see on this play here. And that's where he's most dangerous, is just his ability to scramble, keep his eyes downfield, keep his head up, and look for the open receiver when needed. And obviously, you've seen this play against us from earlier this year, able to scramble when needed. He's got great vision to look downfield and get the ball down there. And the three-headed attack at running back continues with Chris Smith, Montrell Johnson, and Amani Bailey all leading the way. Chris Smith seems to have taken the reins as kind of the most go-to featured back, followed very closely by Montrell Johnson, however. And then Bailey is still he's dangerous, but he's kind of working back in. I think he was banged up a little bit late here in the season, but we'll see a big 99-yard run here from Montrell Johnson. It'd be number 4. And we see, he's just got a great block to make that one happen. Then we'll look at Montrell Johnson on a couple plays here. Nothing crazy when they get some of these runs. It's really just good blocking, good job opening up holes by the O-line to make these things happen. It's very similar offense to what we run, to be totally honest with you. And then we've got Peter LeBlanc. He's come seemingly out of nowhere to lead this team in receptions and yards. I don't believe I featured him at all in the previous video this year. He's only got 1 touchdown, but seems to have picked up some go-to targets in recent weeks. And we've got Kyron Lacey. Has 5 touchdowns on the year and leads the team in that regard, receiving-wise. We'll also move on to Dante Fleming. Has got almost as many yards as Lacey, and seems to be targeted a little bit more here later in the season. And in my opinion, this game previously, when we lost to Louisiana, was Stephen Jones Jr. awakening. They picked on him early, as we see here. They threw to him and at him often. I'm not sure if he was a step slow or off his game for some other reason, but it just kind of wasn't going well for him early. And, here's how you know what kind of players we have. He could have sulked, he could have thrown his helmet on the sideline, got himself benched, and he didn't do any of that. He continued to play hard, continued to battle through. You see some pass breakups here as he's working back into this game. And even a tackle that prevented possibly a touchdown, but at least a little bit more yardage than he was going to have there for Chris Smith. Oh, I'm sorry, Montrell Johnson. That's who that one is. But then we get real close to seeing how his hard work paid off as he almost picks off a pass here. Not a great throw or decision by Lewis, but one he sometimes can fit into that pocket. So Jones, great to be there. And, he kept coming, and he almost has another one here. Just goes right through his hands as he's cutting across the field and sees it before the receiver even does. And then finally gets paid off here with the actual interception in the end zone to keep them from scoring any more points there in that game. At that point in time, anyway. And we know he goes on to have that 3 interception game just a few weeks later against Arkansas State. And then here we're going to look at the defense being a little overly aggressive, I think, coming down and bringing a secondary member and some linebackers down low, getting burned. And then they do it here near the goal line as well. Just a little too aggressive. If we don't play quite so aggressively as often, I think we'll be set up a little bit better. Here, DeMarco pinches up near the line, and they throw right where he possibly could have been in the middle of the field. Again, bringing pressure and biting in low, not making the tackle. And if we just keep our linebackers back a little bit more often in this game and play just a little bit less blitz aggressive, I think it'll pay off. DeMarco in this play here pinches enough, actually, to keep a spy on Lewis and prevent him from running the ball. Now, he does still complete the pass, but we'll take those types of plays. And then, wanted to throw a clip in here of the success they did have defensively, because I don't think we need to stop playing the way we do, but just look for a couple more looks to spread things around here. Then we've got Nate Noel in a couple clips. It's just showing how the Cajuns kept us from getting to the outside with our speed guys. They did a really good job bottling up Noel when he tried to get outside. So we saw 3 clips there of him trying to break it outside, and then we'll see some clips of him having a lot more success going up the middle of the field. And, even though he's going up the middle here, they're not going to be easy yards. You're going to take some hits, and it's going to be hard-nosed running. But I think we can be more successful pounding this middle of the field to open up the passing game and open up those outside stretches instead of trying to force those outside stretches like we did in this first matchup earlier this year. And then we even got a clip of Harrington as well, who I think one of his first carries of the season actually came in this game. So as far as wide receivers go, again, on the inside, really. If you watch what we did, throwing to the outside wasn't working very well. So that first clip was Williams there having success on the inside, and then we'll see what actually in real time was 2 plays in a row. The first to Hennigan cutting on the inside slant, and then the opposite side with Sutton catching one on the inside slant. And for some reason, we didn't keep those going. We had success early in the game and then went away from them.
The last time these two teams met, we know what happened. App gave up 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions. I really don't expect that same type of performance this weekend. I think if the offense can keep up to the assignment of turning those types of things around, that will allow the defense to have greater time and greater periods of rest, which they did not have last time, and they had a couple short yardage situations. So I don't think that we're going to have a repeat performance of what happened almost 2 months ago now. The App defense has given up a total of 31 points across the last 4 weeks of play. In that same amount of time, the Cajuns have given up more than twice that amount, with 68 points allowed. So I'd say the App defense is getting hot, gearing up at the right time of the year. And as we all know, defense wins championships. This is the exact time, the exact moment that App needs to play the type of defense that they've been playing. I don't think that, having said what I said about Louisiana, I don't think they're bad defensively, but you're allowing more points than you have throughout some other points of the season. They're still playing some closer games than some people think. I just think that could become a big factor here, especially if App can win that turnover battle. They obviously lost it badly last time, and then we'll see if they can turn that around. I expect, still a slugfest here. I don't think either team is going to dominate one another, so we'll have to see how that can work itself out. But Saturday, 3:30, I was wrong last time in my prediction. But I feel like the tides have finally turned here in App's favor, especially defensively, coming on a little bit stronger, a little bit hotter than they were going into this one. We'll have Cam Peoples ready to play, which we did not have last time in this matchup. So I'm going to go with App 31, Cajuns 27. I hope that this game can be a sellout. For those going, really enjoy it. Enjoy the food scene. The people down there are awesome. They're very friendly, very welcoming. My suggestion personally is don't take too much stuff with you. Just walk around tailgate scene. People will offer you food and beverage, and you will get to experience some stuff you may never have experienced before. And it's one of my favorite places to go see an away game. So I hope the people that are going can enjoy it and also enjoy it on the field a little bit more than we did the last time. But with all that being said, hopefully we see a great matchup on national television this weekend. And as always, go Apps.
Feeling the world go against us, so we put the world on our shoulders.